is your reaction to Josh Berry now being in the Ford camp for 2024 with Stewart-Haas Racing?
Yeah, Josh is it's a cool story, obviously. I mean, he's been cutting his teeth on the short track side for forever, right? And just likes to race, and obviously it's worked out for him, and probably in a way he didn't expect it to, as far as just success in Xfinity and getting a shot at Cup in the 4 car is a big opportunity. So it's cool for him. I've raced him in Xfinity and quite a bit, and obviously in Cup when he's filled in for other guys, and I feel like he does a good job. So it's cool. It's going to be a cool kind of like case study, right, where he's an older guy with more experience, I'd say, to be in his first full year of Cup, but he's still a rookie, right? So it's always a tough deal to be a rookie in the Cup Series, I think, no matter what age you are, and but I expect he'll do pretty good.
He said, and that's a huge win for short track racing, period. And he's a great guy, so definitely excited and happy for him and that whole group, for sure.
I feel like you guys, him, even like a Ross, like you guys are proof that it can work out if you guys stick around for it.
Yeah, I mean it's not easy to make it here, right? I think we all know that. It takes a lot of things to fall into place. You got to win races, and the way that we've all had to go about it, like Josh and I, we've had to go grind it out and go run. He ran late model stocks, I run modifieds up in the Northeast, and you go and you win and you build up a fan base and a reputation of winning and doing those things, and that's what helped continue to keep us in the game. So to see that happen for him, it's awesome.
Tony was pretty outspoken at the press conference about how he wants to make sure he hires guys based on merit and not because someone brought him a paycheck. What do you think about Tony's commitment to making sure he finds drivers in that profile?
Tony's a racer, and all of us, we hear things like that. I mean, I know that, like, when I watch SK Modifieds or Modifieds Weekly up in the Northeast, and I see a lot of hardworking kids they race with respect. They're learning the things that they need to learn, or at least what I feel like you need to learn growing up to race respectfully. So I think, I definitely, I appreciate and agree with a lot of what he said, because, Josh and I and many others out there, you fight that sometimes. You fight trying to get hired for rides or whatever it is, because of race cars aren't cheap to go put out there, right? It costs money. So when you have owners that are going to get behind you and try to sell sponsors so they can put the best person in the car to get the job done, that's rewarding for racers.
Any guys in SK Modifieds who you think would do well if they got a shot?
So for me specifically, I think Stafford, that's where I did. Right now, having Jimmy Blewett, who's a veteran in Modifieds, that's a huge win for that track and for those younger drivers, because you're gonna learn how to be aggressive, but in the right way. Because if you aren't, you're gonna pay the price. And between that, Keith Rocco and a lot of younger drivers, Dana DiMatteo has been doing great, or Corey DiMatteo. But there's a lot of them up there. They need the eye to be looked at.
Nearly halfway home with the 2023 season. Have there been talks with SHR about 2024?
Yeah, I mean, I'm focusing within my team right now, to be honest with you, and I felt like we've been getting consistently better on our side and executing races we're just checking boxes right now, and the big thing for us now is just starting better, so we don't have to climb that ladder so much throughout the races. If we can start 15th, we can probably run top 10 or fight our way there, and instead of starting 26th to 30th and having to fight your way throughout the race.
And then, in your own words, last year after winning, you've almost been able to start a band with the guitars you won.
Yeah.
Would you consider this to be one of your best tracks, or like with your past success in the truck?
I don't know what it is about it. I enjoy racing here. I enjoy every time that I come here, and I've only been here 3 times, so it's just so for what we all fight. This track makes you have to lift out of the gas. It makes you have to use brake and do all the things that if we had 1,200 horsepower, this is just a smaller version of it. I mean, we can have this this style of racing at a 1.5 or a 2-mile track if we just have more horsepower.
All right, thank you.
Well, Chase, obviously the news came out earlier in the week. Josh Berry's joining Stewart-Haas Racing next year. What type of impact do you think he'll have on the team next year?
Yeah, it's going to be different. Truthfully, just losing Kevin is going to be a big change for our company. But I think it's hard to say what kind of impact he's going to bring, just because of the impact that it's going to be impossible to replace Kevin. All right, so what that impact is, it's hard for me to sit here and speculate what's going to be until I've never worked with Josh early. I mean, I know him, but I don't know him well. So it's hard for me to really say what that impact is. But I do think he fits in the culture really well there. I think that's obviously important anytime you bring a new guy in. You want him to kind of fit the mold of the place. And I feel like he definitely does that. So, looking forward to working with him, obviously, and see what he can bring.
And what are your thoughts on Josh Berry coming in as a driver? Normally, a lot of Cup drivers nowadays, they come in their early 20s, mid-20s. He's coming in his early 30s and really kind of doing it through a lot of skill, and a lot of we see nowadays as sponsorships kind of rule a lot of that. What are your thoughts on Josh Berry coming up a little bit later than most people do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about it. I feel like we're both really similar in that sense, where we didn't have really anything to bring to the table other than our helmet bag, and I was 27, I think, when it was my first year in Cup. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like there's nothing against being one of the older guys. And me and Cinder were actually talking about that earlier, how I'm probably in the upper half of the field in age, and I'm only in my third year in Cup. So I think age is just a number, and I think we do definitely get caught up in the fact that you got to be younger and younger. But I mean, he's 34, so he could still have 10, 11 years and be in his prime. I feel like a lot of these guys are not even in their prime until they're in their later years anyway. Just have so much more experience and they're smarter. So yeah, I'm all for him coming here, and feel like I said, he fits the culture a lot, just the mold of what we kind of look for, and just our company, kind of what the DNA is.
With a lot of team changes at SHR, you have a lot of team changes at SHR. You have the multi-year extension. You have all that squared away. How does it feel to kind of have that stability and knowing that you'll be here for the next several years?
Yeah, it's nice, especially when you're running as bad as we have been lately. It's easy when you're struggling to be more worried about your job, and then you're not focused on track stuff as much because you're so caught up in the pressure and everything else. So it's nice to know that. I mean, yeah, we definitely want to turn the ship around, but it's nice to know when you do have a couple bad weeks that your job's not on the line. So that's been nice to just have that reassurance. And yeah, just have some type of stability in this garage is hard to have. So that's something I've never had in my career. I've always been on year-to-year deals, so it's nice to know that I don't have to be worried about it. Normally around this time of the year is when you start trying to figure stuff out, and it's nice I can just focus on racing, especially right now with all the change that we have going on. It's nice not to have another variable to worry about.
All right, thank you.
With the crew chief change, and obviously I know a lot's been gone through the shop, but one thing Brady Zipadelli said on the Sirius was, I feel like Chase just needs something different right now. He goes, he needs someone to help him grow in a different way, help him pull him a little more accountable than Richard has done now.
Yeah.
So what do you need, and how might this help? How's it hope to help you, I guess?
Yeah, that's something that truthfully I've been asking for. Is I feel like when me and Boswell worked together in the past, he always just honestly holding me accountable. He wasn't afraid to jump me and get on my butt when I needed it. And that's something that I just respond to way better. I don't like when people sugarcoat. If I'm doing something wrong, let me know what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it. And Richard has always been that kind of guy that's not afraid to get onto you if you're doing something wrong. So I think from that standpoint, that's something that I needed. Just truthfully, there's a lot of distraction, obviously, in just everyday life and things like that. And Richard is always there to kind of, even this week we've been working together already, like sending me tons and tons of notes, like, hey, be looking for this, looking for that. So I feel like I have a little bit of help from the study side of things, and just, like I said, somebody holding me accountable to do all these things. So yeah, I think, for us, it's been, I think, 3 years now since we worked together, but we talk still 2-3 times every week over the past 2 or 3 years. I mean, we're still super, super close. So from working together, it's been just like it was 3 years ago. It's just, there's a lot to learn for both of us. There's things different from my end now that he's in than from his side. His car is so different. Nothing's really the same. But I do think I needed a little bit of a change of scenery, just a change somewhere. Something wasn't clicking. And who's to say that Boswell might not be the answer to that? But that's something that I felt like could help us right away, or not even us, just me from a driver's standpoint. So hopefully the results start showing. I feel like most decent where we're off right now, but in general, so we're just trying to keep our expectations real and know what we need to do to improve our cars, and hopefully we'll great.
This is Harrison Burton, driver the number 21. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out one of these two videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.